Thank you for staying with us. You're watching the LongForm Story with me, Niranjan, this evening. A lot has happened this week, and we hope that the stories that we bring to you today will begin conversation. Up first, how the sudden demise of business tycoon Sanjay Kapur has transformed into a full-blown battle for inheritance. What's at stake? A 30,000 crore empire, and at the forefront of it all, the wife and the bloodline. That's story one on the show tonight. A second story addresses the rising cases of canine terror in India. Supreme Court has passed a significant order, essentially putting across the dangers of letting aggressive strays free. On the long-form story, the growing threat of stray dogs pan-India, the case has just become bigger. And on the show tonight, we're getting you a story from Norway. Our third story is about a royal scandal. A young prince of a 1,000-year-old monarchy, a royal family caught up in a web of allegations and endless legal battles. Rape scandal that's hit Norway. That's on the long-form story. And finally, another murder, another blue drum. On the long-form story, the case of how a young man was brutally murdered by his wife and her lover. Chilling details, extensive ground reporting on Republic. Let's get started. A 30,000 crore empire, a suspicious death, and a family tearing itself apart. Sanjay Kapur, heir to the Sonacom star fortune, died suddenly during a polo game in London. Now, rumor mills have been abuzz that it was a bee sting that took Sanjay's life, but the medical reports seem to be contradicting the bee sting theory. That's what the family says. His mother, Rani Kapur, sister Mandira believe there's more to the story, and now they are locked in a bitter fight with Sanjay's wife, Priya Sachdev, over property, trust, and control of Sonacom star empire. It's bloodline versus marriage, mother and sister versus the wife. And at stake, not just the money, but the legacy of an empire. Tonight, we uncover the secrets, the power games, and the fight for the 30,000 crore Kapur fortune.
A corporate empire, inheritance, a series of claims and questions over circumstances around death. A story with more twists and turns than a spy thriller. And while it does not involve any spy, it may just need one to decode it. Born with a silver spoon, Sanjay Kapur had a meteoric rise, a rather inviable one. He was born on 15th October 1971 to Rani Kapur and the late Surinder Kapur. Sanjay was a heir to a legacy forged in chrome and horsepower. His father, a visionary in the automobile industry, didn't just build cars. He steered India to a new era of mobility. From Doon School to university in Buckingham, Sanjay had the best education. His father Surinder Kapur sat on the board of governors at the prestigious Doon School. Then came the predictable overseas detour, a Bachelor of Business Administration from the University of Buckingham. Boxes ticked, degrees acquired. Sona, which is gold in Hindi, began as a family jewelry business. SONA Star was built by Sanjay Kapur's father Surinder Kapur, the engineer with vision. In 2003, Sanjay inherited it all. He did not build the machine, but he knew how to drive it. Navigating the industry of electronic motor vehicles and power corridors alike, he steered Sona from factory floors to global boardrooms. He had the talent and the means of reaching the right room at the right place. His personal life too grabbed headlines often. He married thrice, first in 1996, but his marriage to designer Nandita Mehtani lasted 4 years. In 2003, he wed Bollywood actor Karishma Kapur, with whom he had 2 children, and thereafter he kept the tabloid industry busy as the marriage collapsed amid allegations of domestic abuse and dowry demands. In 2017, he married socialite Priya Sachdev. They had a son. His life, like his business moves, was high profile as well as messy, and beyond that, what was visibly evident was his love for polo, speeches that echoed beyond rooms as well as camaraderie with top politicians, ambassadors and princes alike. All of this came to an end on June 12th. An avid polo player, captain of his team, Sanjay Kapur died after he was allegedly stung by a bee during a match in London. This version has now been vehemently contested by his mother Rani Kapur and sister Mandira Kapur.
Tell you one thing, if my brother had an inkling of an heart disease and I can guarantee you got himself checked out, he would not be playing polo. He would be in a hospital getting it sorted out.
They have rejected this version of events and raised questions about the circumstances that led to Sanjay Kapur's death and even the medical report.
The last few checkups he's had, I'd like to see his medical history, because why isn't my mother being given that? Why are we being not given any information on this? Why has mom not been told? Why can mom asked me, she goes, how do they know? When did he do his last checkup? Why aren't we being given this information? That's all I want to know. Is it fair for my mother to be left in the dark about this when we know? I may not have talked to my brother for 4 years, but 4 years in 53 years is a blip. I know my family, I know my brother well enough to know how we were raised and what we were careful about and what we're not. So I refuse to believe that my brother did not have a checkup in the last 6 months. I refuse to believe that. And if anyone can prove me wrong, please do.
Days after Sanjay Kapur's death, a fierce inheritance war erupted. At the heart of it is a 2013 will drafted by late Surinder Kapur. So who owns the rupees 30,000 crore empire? Rani Kapur maintains that she hasn't divested her assets to her son. A claim that has been contested by Priya Sachdev, who has been elected as non-executive director of SONA Star. All of this is based on a mysterious family trust that was created months after his third wedding. Whether the trust exists or not, one thing is clear: the stakes are worth crores.
My mother's alive. My dad willed everything to her. So how is this become an inheritance dispute? How is my mother locked out of everything that she built with her husband for her family, which is now 7 grandkids? The 2 daughters are alive. Yes, there's a daughter-in-law involved. But how is this become an inheritance dispute when it should be all with my mother, as normal families do?
She's written to the board of directors and the shareholders, where she's requested that the meeting today, which is being held, as I understand, be deferred by at least 2 weeks. So, and that the company cooperate with her so that she can access all details and then present all the facts and make a reasoned decision as to how the family legacy should be taken forward.
Still don't know what happened to my son. I'm old now and need closure before I go. I may be old and frail now, but my memory of being with my husband when Sona was set up is strong. I remember the early days of Sona, built with care, sacrifice and love. I am here to remind the world that our family legacy must not be lost. It must be passed on as my husband always wanted to be.
Rani Kapur finally broke her silence on July 25th with claims of coercion and forced signatures. Sona Comstar did not waste a minute issuing a rebuttal. Now, the Kapur matriarch must back her words with hard proof, because without it, this might just be a foggy memory dressed up as a legacy.
My mother has said it very loudly. She was made to sign papers which she was unaware of during the grieving period. She was not explained anything. We were not involved in it. It was behind closed doors. And ever since, she has asked again and again and again for them, but we are not getting anything. Instead, we're getting answers of being told that emails are compromised and all this rubbish. Let's get the answers. Let's not make excuses. Tell us what she signed. If she signed it, it should legally be in our hands. Why is this all being hidden? And why was it done, again, I'm going to ask, during the 13-day mourning period? What was the hurry? What was the rush for this?
Mandira, you're saying that your mother was pressurized
but I'm
to
very
sign
clear
documents?
on the fact that, yes.
In what way was she?
I was standing at the door trying to open the door, banging on it.
You were banging on the door?
There were doors
and the door was
She was
locked?
put in a room, she was grieving. Yes. Yes.
A group of people locked
my
up
mother
your
is
mother in
grieving.
a
It's a
room,
14-day
you were
mourning
banging on
period.
the door outside, and inside she was being made to sign papers.
There were two doors actually. There was a main door and then there was an inside door. So she couldn't hear me. The bottom line is she was made to sign papers during the 13-day period of mourning. She was in deep grief. She came up and she told me, I don't know what I've signed. And since then we've been asking and asking and we're getting no response. Everything's gone. Forget me, forget my sister, my mother, who has been a queen her entire life, today has nothing. So I'd like to ask anyone out there if they would let their mother go through this. And is this okay? Is it okay for our legacy of my dad, who worked his every moment, blood, sweat and tears, to build this for his family? Today, his family has nothing. Has nothing. His wife, who is alive, has nothing. Is that okay?
Rani Kapur alleged coercion and legacy theft in a sharp move against Sona Comstar. The company fired back by issuing a cease and desist, calling her claims rubbish, one that defamed the integrity of the company, and demanded a full withdrawal of her 24th July letter addressed to the board. Coercion, mysterious trusts, and a suspicious beasting. On one side, a rupees 30,000 crore inheritance and a corporate empire on the other. It's the mother and sister versus the wife. Bloodline versus marriage. Legacy versus legalities. The chessboard is crowded. The moves are murky. And the checkmate nowhere close.
India's streets have become battlegrounds between people and packs of stray dogs. From toddlers being mauled outside homes to disturbing videos of elderly citizens attacked on morning walks, the crisis has been spiraling. City after city, stray dog attacks are rising sharply, claiming lives, leaving hundreds injured. Many are losing their lives, triggering fears in neighborhoods. Municipal claims of sterilization and control are collapsing under mounting numbers. Nearly 5.2 million stray dogs roam unchecked. By conservative estimates, that's the number. Courts, civic bodies, residents locked in a conflict, but on the ground, it's ordinary citizens paying the price with blood, trauma, and too often with their lives.
after city. Neighborhood after neighborhood. India's streets are under siege. Across India, streets are turning into battlegrounds where humans and animals collide, and too often the humans lose. Across India, from crowded cities to quiet lanes, an unseen crisis is unfolding. An estimated 52.5 million stray dogs roam our streets. $52 million. That's almost the population of Spain. Unleashed, uncontrolled, untracked. Three million dog bites in just 1 year, and 1 in 5 victims are children under the age of 15. But these aren't just numbers. Behind every number, there's a face, a scream, a story. Four-year-old Khadira Banu was playing inside her home in Devnagari when a stray dog slipped in. It bit her face, her arms, her tiny legs, leaving her fighting for life. Khadira's fight was long, 4 months of stitches, tubes and hope, but she lost the battle to rabies. And she was not alone. Karnataka has already reported 2.81 lakh dog bite cases and 26 resultant deaths this year. This isn't a Karnataka problem. From Delhi to Thiruvananthapuram, from Pune to Patna, urban India is cracking under the strain. In Odisha's Balangir, a 33-year-old national level para-athlete Jogendra and a 48-year-old farmer Rushikesh Rana both died of rabies, just days after a rabid dog went on a rampage. And if you think vaccines can make you safe, Jogendra's story will shatter that belief. Jogendra had represented India in the national floorball tournaments. He got every shot on time, but the virus took his life before medicines could fight back.
Any post-exposure event of being scratched or being bitten by a dog or being licked in an open wound by any dog, be it stray or non-stray, vaccinated or non-vaccinated, carries an inherent risk of being infected with a virus known as rabies.
When a national athlete with the best treatment available dies of rabies, it tells you something terrifying. This crisis has now reached the highest court of the land, and yet there are no easy answers. In a dramatic reversal, the Supreme Court rolled back its earlier order to remove stray dogs from Delhi NCR. Instead, the judges ruled, sterilize them, vaccinate them, and send them back. Animal rights groups call the new plan humane, but for parents who have lost children, it sounds like a death sentence walking back into their streets.
वो अगर हम ना होते ना इसका साथ दे रहे हैं नेगेटिव गान we are exploding out of this बंदर अरालिया मैग्नोलिया गॉड्स एबीसी कंट्रोल एनिमल पर एक ह्यूमैनिटेरियन डिसीजन लीजिए जिसमें इंसानों का भी भला हो क्योंकि तादाद इतनी बढ़ गई हम भी चाहते
Between animal rights and human lives, India is caught in a battle it refuses to confront. Until the balance tilts, the next Jogendra, next Khadira is only a bite away.
Norway, a country that prides itself on being one of the safest in the world, they claim to have one of the lowest crime rates anywhere globally. And it now finds its monarchy engulfed in an unprecedented scandal. The royal family in Norway that dates back to more than 1,000 years, long seen as a symbol of dignity, stability, and Scandinavian pride, facing its biggest crisis in decades. The crown princess, Mette-Mari's son, Mariu Borg-Hoby, stands accused of rape, assault, and years of abuse. Allegations that have shattered public trust in both the crown and the country's values. With approval ratings plunging, Republican voices in Norway growing louder, and Europe questioning the relevance of its monarchies. This is no longer just a family scandal. Tonight, the whole world is looking at Norway. It's their royal reckoning. For generations, Norway's royal family has portrayed itself as an embodiment of dignity, humility, and a distinctly Scandinavian approach to monarchy. A family that claims to reflect the stability of a nation and the quiet pride of its people. But in 2024, that image cracked, revealing not just a personal scandal, but a national reckoning for Norway. Marius Borg-Hoby, following a year-long investigation, has been accused of abusing a former partner. He's facing multiple serious charges, domestic violence being one of them. Accused also of violating restraining orders. Faces up to 32 charges, including rape, death threats, assault, secretly recording women without their consent. Marius Borg-Hoby, however, has refuted the accusation and intends to enter a guilty plea. Though he holds no royal title, his proximity to the throne makes this crisis impossible to separate from the crown. The scandal has hit the royal family at its heart. The sex scandal in the Norway royal family have struck Crown Prince Haakon's household. His wife, Mette-Marit, already facing scrutiny when she entered the royal family 2 decades ago. Today, she and her son find themselves at the center of unprecedented scandal. Monarchies in Europe are being tested. Prince Haakon, speaking to the media, said the royal family will continue its duties. The courts must take their course. We ask for space as we face this difficult moment. But can a monarchy separate itself from its members? Can it shield its image while justice unfolds? This is not the first storm in Norway. Princess Martha Louise's romance and marriage to an American-style shaman rattled Norway's sense of royal dignity. From alternative healing claims to accusations of commercializing her title, controversy has followed the royal family in recent years in Norway. And now, surveys are revealing a steep decline in royal support. A once unshakable institution, today shaken to its core as monarchies slowly die.
I think this, on an initial level, is going to be a catastrophe for Norway as a national issue. Because Norway, I mean, you have one of these high trust and authority kind of societies, and one that looks up to the royal family. So, the first instance, it's going to erode public confidence and trust in one of their leading institutions. And bear in mind that the monarchy is living off the taxpayer, and Norwegian taxpayers have a very high rate of tax, so they're going to be very displeased. Now, if we take it on a wider level, how this affects monarchies in general, well, I mean, Sweden has its own king who is kind of an analogue to what Prince Philip was. I mean, this bumbling kind of person who puts his foot in things, foot and mouth syndrome, always messing things up. So from a Scandinavian perspective, I mean, this is also not good. I mean, if you look at Norway, Sweden and Denmark, they all have royal families. Seemingly the least controversial one is the Danish.
Though Norway remains a constitutional monarchy, cracks have widened. Republican movements which were once fringe are gaining ground. And the scandal has doubled the Republican membership and amplified their voice. Should 21st century democracies still rely on inherited crowns, the same monarchies who preach to the world face an existential crisis. Norway is not alone. Across Europe, royal houses face scrutiny. Increasingly, financial impropriety in Spain, scandals in Britain, waning popularity in Netherlands. Each case raises the same question. When privilege shields power, can accountability truly exist? Europe demands transparency from the world, often preaching from high tower. But will Europe now turn the mirror on itself?
So Europe will not turn a mirror on itself. This is called atavism. At one point of time, European nations probably controlled 2/3 of the world's surface area through their colonies. They haven't forgotten that. Atavism, living in the past. Don't expect them to say that, we should improve or we should get better. What they'll come out with is that the law will take its own course, and behind the scenes they'll tell the judges, etc., look, take it easy on the kid. But the kid, when he was earlier accused of doing funny things, he had said, look, I want to go and my mental health is not good, so I want to go and get treatment. This is all rubbish. We all know that this is an eyewash, and he'll probably get away scot-free, and 10 years imprisonment and so on. That's a joke.
For King Harald and Queen Sonia, this twilight of reign was meant to be a celebration of stability. Instead, their legacy is shadowed by a scandal. For Crown Prince Haakon, the path to the throne grows heavier. And for the people of Norway, trust in the crown now stands on trial alongside the accused. A family crisis, a national debate, and a continental reflection across Europe. Norway's royal reckoning may yet decide more than a family's fate. It may define whether Europe's monarchies can survive this century. A murder inside a home, a body stuffed into a blue drum, and an 8-year-old child who saw it unfold. In Alwar, Rajasthan, Hansraj was killed on the night of August 15th, allegedly by his wife, Lakshmi Devi, and her lover, Jitendra. The shocking part in the story, the couple tried to hide the body, but it was the minor son's testimony that cracked the case wide open. Now, investigators say that the murder has eerie similarities to the infamous Meerut drum killing. But this version is darker, more brutal, and far more haunting. Tonight we bring you the full story through the eyes of the child who became the key witness.
मम्मी ने पीछे से पकड़ा पापा को और अंकल ने जो पेप था वो फेंक दिया और फिर उनके बीच में बहुत ज़्यादा झगड़ा होने लगा तो मेरे पापा मारने लगे मम्मी को। अंकल ने फिर उसको सुलाया, पता नहीं कैसे सुलाया, मैं तो फिर पता आपको फिर उन्होंने दरअसल ये हुआ कि जब मेरे पापा सो गए तब उन्होंने उनको मम्मी ने पैर पकड़े और पापा और अंकल ने उनका मुंह दाब दिया।
A mother, a lover, a father, and an 8-year-old who saw it all.
उनको बेड पे मैंने देखा, मैंने सोचा सो रहे हैं पापा। तब 8 के बज के 9 साढ़े 9 बजे उनने ड्रम में डाला। मेरे को फ़ोन दे दिया, मैं पेशाब करने के लिए निकला। मैंने कहा ये मेरे पापा को ड्रम में आप लोग क्यों डाल रहे हो? तो मेरी मम्मी और अंकल ने कहा बेटा तेरा पापा मर गया। तो मैंने कहा ऐसा कैसे हो सकता है? तो कहीं तेरे को याद नहीं है क्या तेरे पापा रात को बहुत ज़्यादा लड़ाई कर रहे थे, तेरे मम्मी और तेरे बहन और तेरे को मारने की धमकी दे रहे थे। तब मैंने कहा हाँ। तो उन्होंने कहा मेरे को इसको मजबूरी में मारना पड़ा।
These are not just words of an 8-year-old. They are the shattered memories of a child who watched in horror as his mother and her lover dragged his father's lifeless body stuffed inside a blue drum. That child is now a crucial witness in the Alwar murder case. A crime that once haunted Meerut now finds its twisted reflection in Alwar. It was the night of 15th August. As India celebrated independence, Hansraj was breathing his last. He was killed by the very people he called family, his wife Lakshmi Devi and her lover Jitendra. The crime unfolded in the rented room in Kishan Nagar, Alwar, owned by none other than Jitendra's mother.
अलवर में पति की हत्या कर उसके शव को नीले ड्रम में डालना और उसके बाद अपने प्रेमी के साथ फरार हो जाना, इस मामले में पुलिस ने कार्रवाई करते हुए पत्नी लक्ष्मी और पत्नी के बॉयफ्रेंड जितेंद्र को गिरफ्तार कर लिया। और गिरफ्तारी के बाद जब पूछताछ की गई तो कई चौंकाने वाले खुलासे हुए। लक्ष्मी लगातार क्राइम पेट्रोल देखती थी। उसके मन में शुरुआत से इस बात की भावना थी कि कैसे अपने पति हंसराम को रास्ते से हटाया जाए, और यही कारण था कि मेरठ में मुस्कान हत्याकांड में जिस तरीके से नीले ड्रम का इस्तेमाल पति के शव को डिस्पोज ऑफ करने के लिए किया गया, उसी तर्ज पर अलवर में भी लक्ष्मी ने अपने पति हंसराम के शव को डिस्पोज ऑफ करने के लिए नीले रंग के ड्रम का इस्तेमाल किया।
The landlady, mother of Lakshmi's lover, claims she knew of no relationship between her son and Lakshmi. But she remembers one thing clearly. Lakshmi often confided in her, said her husband Hansraj used to beat her. She says she doesn't know if her son drank with Hansraj that night, but even as she defends him, a crack appears. She suspects he might be involved.
मेरे बेटा ने बताया कि मैं दोस्त है मेरा, ये बाहर का है, भट्टा बंद हो गया, तो ये यहाँ काम मिल जाएगा तो ठीक है, नहीं तो वहाँ चला जाएगा, बस इतना बताया मेरे से। तो
आपके बेटे जितेंद्र ने बताया कि इनको घर दे दीजिए किराए पर।
किसको?
जितेंद्र ने आपको बोला कि ये उसके दोस्त है, इसको घर दे दो किराए पर।
हाँ, वो ऐसे ही रह रहा था, किराया दे क्या रहा था, भी 1 महीना 1.5 महीना है तो उनको आए हुए को।
आपके बेटे को भी पुलिस ने हिरासत में लिया हुआ है
अब? हाँ,
क्या दोस्ती थी उनकी?
हाँ, दोस्ती की वजह से ही लिए रखा है भाई। मेरे से तो ऐसे कह रहा भट्टे पे काम कर रहा था, तो दोस्ती थी इनकी दोनों की।
क्या उसकी पत्नी के साथ भी उसकी दोस्ती थी?
नहीं, पत्नी के साथ ऐसा कुछ नहीं था। पत्नी तो कई दफे मेरे से बोलती थी, ऐसा कोई बात नहीं थी, इतना ही बोलती थी मेरा आदमी दारू पीता है, इसने सब कुछ खत्म कर रखा है, मारता है, बस इतनी ही बोलती। वो मेरे से कुछ नहीं कहा उसने।
ये कहते थे तू सच सच बता दे जी, तू से प्यार करती है कि नहीं, वरना तेरे को मार दूंगा। तब मैं कहता था कि मेरी मम्मी को ऐसा मत मारो, मैं बता दूंगा। तब मैंने ये कहा मेरी मम्मी जीतू से प्यार नहीं करती थी। कहते थे कि ये किराया क्यों दे रहा है तेरा। दरअसल मेरे पापा उस वक्त कमा नहीं रहे थे, उन्होंने मोटरसाइकिल बेची और फिर 500,000 की दारू मंगाने लगे और वो पीते थे देसी।
अभी तक जो प्राथमिक पूछताछ हुई है उसके अंदर उन्होंने बताया है कि हम दोनों ने तकिए से उसका मुंह दबाया, और तकिए से मुंह दबाने के कारण जो है सांस जो है वो रुक गई और संभवतः है उसी टाइम पे उसकी डेथ हो गई थी। फिर उसको रात भर जो है वो उन्होंने रूम में रखा और अगले दिन उन्हें सुबह समझ में आ गया कि जो है इसकी मृत्यु हो चुकी है। जी, अभी तक ये सामने आया है कि घटना के बाद पहले जो जितेंद्र है उसने अपनी प्रेमिका को और 3 बच्चों को रोड पे भेजा। वो लोग जो है रोड पे जाके और घर से थोड़ा दूर जाके मार्केट में खड़े हो गए। फिर जितेंद्र जो है वो बाइक लेके गया और उन तीनों को बिठा के अलवर की तरफ जो है वो रवाना हो गया।
As she talks about the foul smell, she didn't go upstairs. Instead, she called 100.
नहीं, मैंने ड्रम का हाथ नहीं लगाया, मैं छत पर गई, बदबू आ रही थी, वो बदबू आई तो मैंने 100 नंबर फोन कर दिया, पुलिस आ गई, उन्होंने चेक पड़ताल कर लिया।
मेरठ में मुस्कान ने कैसे अपने पति की हत्या की, टुकड़े करने के बाद नीले रंग के ड्रम में पति के शव को रख दिया, सीमेंट डालकर उसको जमा दिया। हूबहू उसी तरीके की वारदात अलवर में भी देखने को मिली। अलवर के उसी घर पर मैं मौजूद हूं और ये छत आप देख रहे हैं, इसी छत पे नीले रंग का ड्रम रखा हुआ था और अंदर पति की लाश थी और हत्या करने वाला कोई और नहीं बल्कि पत्नी और उसका जो दोस्त, इस घर का जो एक तरीके से मकान मालिक का बेटा, वो पुलिस ने दोनों को हिरासत में लिया है। नीले रंग का ड्रम इस जगह पे रखा हुआ था, अभी देख रहे हैं जो चद्दर यहाँ पर रखी हुई है और ये वही चद्दर है जिस चद्दर से जो शव था हंसराम का उसको नीले रंग के ड्रम में डालने के बाद इस चद्दर से ढक दिया गया था और इसी जगह पर वो ड्रम रखा हुआ था। जब बदबू आनी शुरू हुई, तब जाकर पुलिस को इस पूरे मामले में जानकारी दी गई। वो ड्रम कैसा था, वो ड्रम देखेंगे, कुछ इस तरीके का ड्रम था, तकरीबन 3.5 से 4 फीट के आसपास का वो ड्रम था। ये भी नीले रंग का है, लेकिन वो थोड़ा गाढ़े नीले रंग का ड्रम था, जिसको अब पुलिस ने कब्जे में ले लिया है।
The blue drum, the lies, the love, and a gut-wrenching tale of murder. 2 women. One found pregnant in jail and leaving behind a 6-year-old daughter by her side. The other, a mother of 3. The eldest, just 8. The youngest, not even 1. What happened in Alwar eerily mirrors the murder in Meerut. But this version is darker, more brutal, and far more soulless. In both the cases, the couple fled, and 2 families fell apart. This is not just a murder, it's a haunting pattern, repeating across cities, across lives, each time leaving behind silence and blood.
बिल्कुल देखिए, पूरी आप बीती 8 साल के इस मासूम बच्चे ने बताई। उसने बताया कि 15 अगस्त की रात को आखिरकार हुआ क्या, जितेंद्र ने कितनी शराब पी, तो उसके पिता ने कितनी शराब की। हालांकि जब मैं सवाल पूछ रहा था तो बहुत अजीब मुझे भी लग रहा था कि एक 8 साल का मासूम बच्चा, उसने पूरा हत्याकांड होते हुए अपनी आंखों से देखा। उसने देखा कि कैसे उसकी माँ ने अपने उसके पिता को पीछे से पकड़ा, जितेंद्र जिसको वो अंकल बोल रहा है, उसने हाथ से रॉड छीनी और उसके बाद उसके पिता को बेड पर सुला दिया गया। सुबह जब वो सो के उठा 8 साल का बच्चा, तो उसने देखा कि उसके पिता बगल में सो रहे हैं। माँ ने हाथ में मोबाइल फोन दिया कि बच्चा मोबाइल देखे। इतने में जितेंद्र और उसकी माँ ने किया क्या कि बाहर आंगन में रखे नीले रंग का जो ड्रम था, उसके अंदर उस पिता का जो शव है उसके अंदर डाला। और जब बच्चे ने ड्रम के अंदर अपने पिता को जाते हुए देखा, डालते हुए देखा, तो उसने माँ से सवाल किया। जवाब में क्या मिला कि रात को तुमने देखा कि किस तरीके से वो नशे में था और तेरी माँ को मार रहा था। इस तरीके की बातें लक्ष्मी करती हुई नजर आई।
पापा मारने लगे मम्मी को।
A father smothered with a pillow and stuffed into a blue drum. A mother locked away in jail with her lover. And standing at the center of it all, an 8-year-old child. He saw everything. I saw them put Papa in the drum. Now he's not just a witness. He's a brother and a protector to 2 younger siblings. One barely 3, the other not even 1. No parents, no answers. Just memories soaked in fear. But who brings justice to the children left behind?
And that's it on this edition of the long-form story. In case you missed any of the stories, you can catch all of them once again at 12 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. Thanks for watching.
In another world, an element is born. Introducing the Phantom Black Edition by Grand Vitara. Nexa. In another world, an element is born. Introducing the Phantom Black Edition by Grand Vitara. Nexa.
Our Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy. every day. Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar, and I'm here to tell you that also gives me the license to guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
Join International Institute of Hotel Management.
भारत की अपनी दुकान इंडिया सोना, अपने देश का सामान इंडिया सोना, इंडिया सोना,
इंडिया सोना।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, राजा और मसाला,
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी, चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
सिप सिप जीरा सिप, जीरा सिप, MDH का जल जीरा सिप, जीरा सिप, MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
An element is born. Introducing the Phantom Black Edition by Grand Vitara. Nexa.
Welcome back. We're getting in some breaking news right now on Republic TV. Let's go across straight to that. Breaking news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir. Now, a joint team of security forces have busted a hideout of terrorists in Dachigam forest of Srinagar. This is the same area where an encounter took place earlier last month. In Dachigam, Jammu and Kashmir, an encounter that's broken out. We are picking up more details of the encounter. And Republic TV getting in more details of that encounter and the anti-terror operations that are on. 3 terrorists were involved in the Pahalgam attack, and they were neutralized in the exact same belt, the Dachigam forest belt. So let me go across to Zeenat. Zeenat, is this linked to Pahalgam, or is this a part of the ongoing search operations in the same area?
We need to understand that after the Pahalgam attack, the searches were going on in Dachigam belt for a very long time. And those terrorists who were involved in this Pahalgam attack, they too were neutralized in the same area. And since then, even the search was continuing because there were the reports that the more terrorists are hiding in the forest belt. And today, the hideout was busted by the joint security forces in the Pahlipora area of forest belt of Dachigam. Some utensils, the clothes and other things, and the pouches too have been recovered. Now the investigating agencies are looking into that, whether the same terrorists were using these items for which the investigation is on. This also tells you that the synergy between the forces, because this was a joint operation of Indian Army along with Jammu and Kashmir Police and the CRPF, and this also tells you that the terrorists are trying to use now the forest belts, because once they are in the hinterland, the police and the intelligence agencies get to know about their movement, and then they are neutralized. Now in the forest belt, they are taking refuge, they get camouflaged in the forest belt, and they feel that these are the safe havens for them. But now, since this operation is going on for the last many months, and the forest belt, today finally the security forces laid their hand on these utensils, the clothes, the pouches and other instruments that have been recovered from the forest belt. This is the Pahlipora area of Dachigam. This is the upper area. This is the Zabarwan forest range, where early last month in July, the 3 terrorists of the LET were neutralized. As per the Home Minister Amit Shah himself, he has identified the terrorists and also has informed and conveyed to the entire world that the Pahalgam perpetrators too have been neutralized by the Indian Army in the same forest belt.
Thank you for that. Let's get you some more breaking news updates now coming in. We're getting in news now of the Border Security Force this evening apprehending a senior officer of the Bangladesh Police, which apparently was trying to infiltrate. There was an officer from the Bangladesh Police attempting to infiltrate into Indian territory in the North 24 Parganas district of West Bengal. The officer reportedly was intercepted near the Hakimpur border outpost between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. and later handed over to the West Bengal police. Mystery on why a Bangladesh cop was trying to infiltrate the border into India. The BSF has apprehended a senior officer of the Bangladesh police. He was trying to reportedly infiltrate into Indian territory. This was in the North 24 Parganas district of Bengal. The officer intercepted near the Hakimpur border. Okay, getting in some global news now. And Zelensky, the Ukrainian president, seems to be pushing for further sanctions against individuals and firms working with Russia. We have some breaking news on that front as Zelensky acts with Canada in what is a synchronized effort. He claims it's a synchronized effort to put sanctions in Ukraine. This is 100% alignment, he says, with Canadian sanctions targeting 139 individuals and legal entities working for Russia's war. And together with our partners, he claims Ukrainians are also preparing decisions on synchronizing sanctions with partner jurisdictions. He claims everyone who helps Russia continue the killings and build its war machine for further aggression must feel real global pressure. Zelensky adding that the second decree today introduces sanctions against 28 citizens of different countries who are equally helping the Russians in maintaining the occupation regime on Ukrainian land and effectively sponsoring the Russian state. And for each of these names, we are also working with law enforcement agencies of partner countries. All accomplices of the Russian occupiers will one way or another be held accountable for their actions against Ukraine and Ukrainians. That's the breaking news update as he now pushes for sanctions for anybody doing business with Russia. Amid an escalation in the trade tariff war by Washington, External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar has once again exposed the double standards of America. In a strongly worded statement during an event, Jaishankar has said that for India, national interest is paramount and that no circumstances will ever force India to bow down to pressure of a third country.
Well, we've not had a US president who's conducted foreign policy as publicly as the current one. That itself is a departure. That's not limited to India. That's limited. In fact, for that matter, who's not conducted his domestic policies as publicly as this one too. So I think we got to understand, before I come to India-US, that the President Trump's way of dealing with the world, even dealing with his own country, is a very major departure from the traditional orthodox manner of doing so. I'm just giving you some examples. Say, the applications of tariff in this manner, even for trade, is novel. The application of tariffs for non-trade issues is even more so. The fact that a lot of this is said in public, often the first pronouncement is in public, is even more unusual. So this is a situation which the entire world is facing. At this moment, three issues. First of all, trade. And I think, in my mind, that's really the major issue in terms of the negotiations which are underway. And, negotiations are still going on. But the bottom line is, we have some red lines.
You say negotiations are still going on because we heard the team is not coming.
No, look, negotiations are still going on in the sense that nobody said the negotiations are off. And people do talk to each other. It's not like there's a kutti there. So look, there is what happens is we have red lines in the negotiations. We have to be clear as to red lines by definition are lines to be maintained and defended. Keeping that in mind, see what we get. And frankly, where we are concerned, the red lines are primarily the interests of our farmers and to some extent of our small producers. So when people pronounce that we have succeeded or failed or, where are you? The bottom line is, my counter question is, we as a